Hello everyone. In this video tutorial, I will show you how to do an example of enumeration. So what is enumeration? Enumeration is one of the most aggressive activity and the last step of information gathering where the attacker ranks the potential target as per their importance. So enumeration usually requires more interaction with the target to extract information like usernames, group information, share name, and DNS. On the other hand, exploitation is the beginning of attack by leveraging identify vulnerabilities or executing code and script. So after the attacker find all the information about information gathering, they usually start to exploit, right? Attacker plays the backdoors for future entries, or attacker can try to cover the tracks to avoid detection. So in this video, I'm gonna show you a demo how to do the last step of information gathering, especially about DNS enumeration, right? So what is DNS enumeration? DNS enumeration is basically information gathering or integration of DNS. As many of you have known, DNS service is responsible to resolve the domain to IP address. So when you type www.google.com, it will convert into IP address, right? So let's start using some of the tools in Kali. Okay, so I'm gonna try to use host, for example, here. Okay, let's type the IP address first here, ifconfig A. So here I'm going to find out that let me see if I can make this a little bit better, right? Let me see here. File preference. I'm gonna change this to 12 so we can see a little bit better. 12, 14 maybe, right? Okay, 14. So let me see if I can go to here, ifconfig, right? The IP address is, I'm going to use this one, the internal IP address. The host only adapter is, what it is here, 192.168.86.113, which is my host only adapter, right? That's for my Kali or the attacker machine, and my net is here. My ETH1, which is the net, right, is 192.168.56.116. Okay. So in case you are having trouble with the networking issue, I'm going to show you here. Notice that I have those two IP addresses, right? Oh, here I'm using a wireless here, right? I'm using a wireless adapter, but the concept is the same, right? So my host only adapter is 56116, and my bridge adapter is my net or my bridge adapter is 192.168.86.113. Okay, so now I'm going to clear this up, right? I'm going to clear so we can see a little bit better. Let's now host exploit.com, right? Notice that we have the IP address for that. They have two IP address, 136.119 and then .38.168, and the IP address is also given here. Okay, notice that this is the mail exchange, right? The mail is handled by dc.mx and this number.exploit.com. Okay, so let's start do the process, right? I'm going to do host, right, hyphen type, right, ns name server hsexploit.com, right? That is the name server. We are going to look for the name server. Notice that they use this Cloudflare, right? The name server is d.nameservercloudflare.com and gym.nscloudflare.com. Okay, because there are so many DNS attack, right? So many company nowadays they using Cloudflare. So instead of querying directly to the server, they usually use Cloudflare, right? So if you are not familiar with Cloudflare, I would suggest you go to this website. Okay, so when people look into your site, they go to Cloudflare first to make sure that there is no DNS attack, right? And then if it's approved, it goes to your server, right? Okay, so uh, the website has changed here. So DNS application service. Okay, here we go. Documentation. They also have a learning. So if any one of you like to interested with this, to learn about Cloudflare, you can go to this website. All right, so I'm gonna come back here again and let's go to my Kali machine. Where's my Kali? I'm gonna minimize this. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is look for the mail, right? Instead of name server, I'm gonna choose host space hyphen type and then mail server. I'm looking for the mail server of this one, right? hsexploit. Here it was handled by this one, right? dz.mx, this number.exploit.com. Okay. All right. So if I look for host google.com, right? Oh, we have a lot of IP address here, right? So maybe I can try, right? Let me see here. So we can type this 142.250.115.102. Okay. So we go to Google. It's easier for us to remember google.com instead of this IP address. Therefore, we have a DNS server, right? And this is the IP address of DNS server. The email, notice that is handled by smtp.google.com. All right, so we're gonna use another tool now. We're gonna use called NS lookup, right? The NS lookup basically provide basic information, right? NS lookup, I'm going to go to hsexploit.com. Okay, we have non-authoritative and authoritative, right? So here we have this is the authoritative, this is the DNS server, IP address 86.1, 86.1, port number 53. Notice that this is the port number. The non-authoritative is this one, right? If any one of you do not know the difference between authoritative versus non-authoritative DNS. Here, let me give you a good definition, right? Authoritative servers store and manage the official DNS record for the domain, ensuring that accurate and up-to-date information. The non-authoritative server act as intermediary, forwarding and caching DNS query to improve performance and latency. Okay. So the authoritative server is the one that store the DNS record. The non-authoritative, they act as an intermediary, forwarding or caching DNS query. Okay. Here, maybe they give you a good example here, right? Let me see here. User DNS query, response is not in the cache. They look for the root DNS and come back again, right? And it go to non-authoritative recursive and then request and respond. They look for the TLD like the .com, and then here again add respond to the cache. And then the third one, request and respond to authoritative DNS. And finally, they provide the www.google.com. So they look for the top level domain, right? The TLD. So when you request the DNS query, if respond not in the case, right, is request respond to the root DNS. From there, they look for the second level, which is the top level, like the .com, .edu, or .mil, right? From here, it goes down up to they find the real DNS that store the domain name services. Okay, so let me minimize this, and now we get this NS lookup, right? So there is another way to look, right? We can do like this, NS lookup like that, enter like this. So we can have some interactive of NS lookup. Set type equal to name servers, right? Name server. Now I'm going to type 8exploit.com. There we go. So now we can find this is the authoritative IP address and this is the non-authoritative. They go through Cloudflare, right? So if you are a small to medium-sized business, normally we need to go to the using Cloudflare for DNS query to avoid DDoS, right? DDoS instead of attacking when the user requests a domain name server, the domain name service, it goes to the Cloudflare first. If it's approved, then it goes to the authoritative domain name server to our site. Okay, and let's try another one. Set type, and then I'm gonna look for MX, which is the mail server, and 8exploit.com, right? And we can find the authoritative domain name IP address, and this is the mail exchange server. Okay, so these are pretty much straightforward, but it's kind of powerful because domain name server, as I mentioned to you earlier, it resolves domain into IP address. So let me show you another tools here. I'm gonna exit this. We're gonna use the program called dig, right? DIG. So I'm gonna go to dig 8exploit.com. Okay. Notice that it gives you more information, right? Dig, right? Notice that we have a name service here, a record, This is the IP address, right? This is, where is it? Dig, right? Here, exploit.com. We have this non-authoritative, and this is the authoritative, right? The DNS is, where is this? We query this on Sunday. Notice that I query this on Sunday, October 8th, 2023, right? It show you more information. So Dig is kind of a good tool here, right? So it's similar to NS lookup, but it provide you in a different format, right? So query, the first one is the query. Number two is the authority, okay, and this is the non-authoritative. This is the A host record. In case you're not familiar with the resource code, let me show you how to find a resource record for DNS in DNS. You probably need to get familiar with some of this in case. What is the most common resource record in the DNS? Here we go. So here probably I can show you the most common one. A is map the domain names to IP version 6, or AAAA map domain to IP version 6, right? Canonical names is to redirect a domain to a different domain. Okay. So let's start the 444, right? See if it's work here. Here. Let me see. This is Dick. Type AAAA like this. Okay, now we can get the IP version 6, right? The IP version 6. So this DNS record, right? The difference between A and there are 4A is this is for IP. IP version 6, there are 4 A record equivalent to A record responsible for mapping a domain name to IP version 6. Okay. So let me see. I'm going to click accept. MS, right? Provide a domain names of mail server that receive email on behalf of the domain. Since many organizations, almost all organizations use email, so you can have MX. NS provide a list of authoritative name server responsible for the domain. Provide a list of authoritative name server responsible for the domain, right? So these are the most common one, right? Let's try another one. If you're not familiar with Dig, we can use this one, Dig -help, right? Here, -help, right? Is this -help? Dig H, okay. Digs H like this. It show you all the, right? The argument of that. So I can go up. So I can go to the top here, right? Here we go. It show you, right? The argument, right? Q class port -p -4 -6, right? So these are an example of the things, the argument. What else here that I want to show it to you? Let me try another one. I'm going to do, instead of AAA, let's go to the hyphen type MX, right? MX, this is the mail server. Now we get the mail server, right? Okay. And then let's do another one, which is name server. So we can do it individually, NS, like that. This is the name server. Okay. Canonical name. Let's find out if we can find a canonical name. This one is CName like that. Okay, well, this company does not have a CName, right? It doesn't have canonical name. This domain does not have a canonical name. As you can see, you cannot find this out, right? So they don't have it. What else here? I think that's about it, right? That I want to cover here. Here is kind of powerful, minus H, right? Minus -H help. Okay. So you can find all the information. Again, if you're not familiar with this AHOS resource record for domain, I would suggest you print this out and review them one more time. All right. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye. Where is this? How to turn it off? Where is this? Yes, stop. Oh my.